Minecraft Skyblock, a challenge where you have to complete the game with one tree and some lava and water. I played Skyblock for 30 days, but before we jump into the results, I want to mention that I have a few goals for the first 30 days. I want to build a mob grinder, I want to get a consistent food supply, and hopefully build a gold farm. Alright, let's begin the journey. I started day 0 with collecting the lava buckets and the ice block. Then I started to destroy dirt blocks for my cobblestone generator. I chopped down my tree, but I left one log so the leaves would not disappear. I made a crafting table, and I crafted my first pickaxe. After some mining, I crafted some slabs and started to expand the island. I destroyed the last log and waited for the leaves to disappear. And I figured I could just mine some cobble while I waited for the sapling. I hadn't got my sapling yet, and I was down to my last 2 leaves, and the suspense was real. I gathered my powers and I destroyed them, but of course, no sapling. So I ran around a little to get out my frustration, and I then left the world. Consider dropping a like and subscribe if you like content like this. Yeah, my luck. After I made the cobblestone generator and chopped down my tree, it was time to expand the island once again. I made the platform a little bit bigger so the saplings wouldn't fall down the void. I chopped down the last log and started mining while I waited for the saplings. This time we got the 3 saplings. I placed out my dirt. I planted the new saplings and then I expanded the island even further. I really wanted to build a mob chamber, so I made a little bridge, and then a 3x5 platform. With 2 block high walls. I put some slabs on top of the walls so that mobs don't spawn there. Then I noticed that my sugarcane had grown, and day 0 was finally over. I started day 1 with crafting a hoe. I then planted some seeds I had gotten. I made the mob chamber larger, because mobs wasn't spawning in the last one. My first tree had grown, and I proudly chopped it down. The new mob chamber seemed to not work either, so I decided to change the roof to full blocks instead of slabs. And kids, don't forget your spawn proofing. Another island was pretty close, so I used the rest of my slabs to try to reach it. Bam! My first mobs. My little mob chamber had proven itself, so I gladly killed them. And used the remains to obtain wheat. For my first piece of bread, and day 1 was officially over. Day 2 had safety as a high priority. I decided for some reason to make my entire island to half slabs, so mobs wouldn't spawn there. I had entirely forgot that charcoal even existed. During my renovations, a zombie came to say hi, but my island is private property, so he got what he asked for. To my surprise, he dropped a carrot. Finally, a decent type of food. I added it to my huge farm. Day 3 started in the unsafest way possible. I spent the entire day gathering cobble, so that the new island could be reached. Some phantoms figured they would try me, but they were no match. The new island had water. It was time for a new era on my world. I made an infinite water source and got killed by the previous Phantom's second cousins. I proceeded to make the worst cobble generator known to mankind to end these 2 beautiful days. Day 5 was a tree shopping day. Yeah, I spent the entire day just chopping trees. Day 6. Yeah, I kinda forgot to press record. Day 7. Here is the cobble generator I built in day 6. I don't know if it's faster right now, but hopefully it will be in the future. I wanted to collect all of the dirt that comes with the island. I used a water bucket to let me build a platform underneath the island. It became pretty big, and now it was shoveling time. I ended the day with a joyful slaughter. I spent entire day 8 mining cobble. Day 9 was carrot farm day. I planted the carrots and started bone milling them, so I could fill up all the dirt blocks. On day 10, I wanted to build a mob grinder. So I started with building a bridge to the island where the grinder would be, and then I began building the island. Then I fall down the void, because apparently I don't know how to press keys, but no major damage done. I went back to finish the job in the evening. On day 11, I continued building the island. I wanted to have a certain pattern for the floor, so it took the entire day just to build the floor. Day 12 and 13. It was now time to build the actual mob grinder. I started with a base and then built up in the sky. I put up the walls for the spawning platforms and then built the platforms, but I quickly realized that more material was needed. Day 14 through 22, the grind for the grinder really began. I filled in the blocks on the first layer. I gathered materials, filled in more blocks. I put up the walls and placed the trapdoors. I decided to go for 2 layers, so I made the platforms. By now, you will probably notice that I made the structure 1 block too long, and I had to place out a 2 block thick wall instead of a 1 block. I gathered some more cobble and then filled out the entire roof with wood. I made some last pattern changes and my mob grinder was in business. I enjoyed the slaughterhouse I had built, and I even got 2 iron ingots from farming. On day 23, I found my first zombie villager. I offered him candy, so he would follow me in my boat. And then I put him in a shed, so I could save him for later. Day 24. I chopped down trees, and I killed mobs with their own bones all the day. It was time to get rid of the old ugly mob chamber, so I mined it down. I wanted to make a bridge to a new island, so I did that. I then found a friend for my zombie villager, and then went back to the new island so I could collect berries. Day 26. It was time for the nether. I started with building my portal. I then built a contraption that would light my portal, but it would take some time for it to work, so I went back to killing mobs. Day 27. While farming mobs, the portal lit. I immediately went to the portal and hopped in. When I came into the nether, I noticed a small island in the emptiness. I looted that island and then moved on. One of the goals of the video was to build a gold farm, so I built one, but first at the wrong height. So I made another one, but at the right height. I placed down the trapdoors, and I made sure that guests would not spawn. I shot a zombified piglet with my bow, and I let the piglets loose. The last day of today's video, I made some minor improvements to the farm. I then kidnapped 3 piglins. I started to throw gold at them, and a new era had begun. The era of trading. And there it was, 30 days of Skyblock. I really hope you have enjoyed this video, and please consider dropping a like and subscribing. If you would want longer videos, or more days in a video, or maybe both, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and bye!